Guys, I hope everybody's doing okay. Tasty Mond here. I took it upon myself to play some Stalker 2 over the past couple of days, and I've had my eye on this game for quite some time. You all know how I feel about this year in games. There's not really been a whole lot of stuff for me to play this year, unfortunately. It's been a wee bit of a lackluster year for games, as proven by the last video I did about the Game Awards and stuff, but yeah, I've had my eye on Stalker 2 for quite a couple of months maybe, and I decided to pre-order it a little while ago because I was willing to take the risk on the game and check it out, because I actually heard a lot of things over the years about the previous Stalker games, and I actually own them, but I've never got round to playing them. I was going to play the old ones in anticipation for the new one coming out, but I kind of thought it would just be a good idea to start completely fresh, having never played a Stalker game before. And I must say, I'm really glad I did, because so far I've really been enjoying Stalker 2. You know, I've never really been a huge fan of the post-apocalyptic setting for video games. It's never really been like one of my number one settings. I mean, I'd probably say like medieval was one of my more favourite settings that have ever happened in gaming, maybe like Victorian London, stuff like that, but never really found myself a big post-apocalyptic guy. I must say, I feel like that's changing over the past year, because obviously watching the Fallout TV series, it made me want to replay a couple of the Fallout games. I replayed Fallout 4, and then I actually played New Vegas for the first time ever, and boy was I glad I played that game, because it was great, and I think it genuinely still holds up. But that's one of the things that led me into pre-ordering Stalker 2, is because obviously I don't think it's exactly the same as Fallout or anything like that, and I'm not even, there's part of me that thinks that I'm maybe enjoying this game more than something like Fallout 4 so far, but yeah, that is one of the things that actually led me into pre-ordering Stalker 2 in the first place, is that it takes place in a post-apocalyptic setting, and I was eager to get back into that type of setting from a different developer. I've got to say, I don't really understand the Metacritic score for the game being so low at like 74, but I mean, you know how we are around here, we don't really like count like 7 out of 10 games, 8 out of 10 games bad. We're kind of like old school gamer around here. But yeah, I mean, it's a little bit bad to see like a game that you can see has got so much work put into it, like Stalker 2, getting like a couple of bad scores like what it's been getting, and it gives the game a bad reputation that all people are really bothered about is bugs. But personally, I've not experienced a ton of bugs in this game so far, so obviously bugs can be ruining it for the experience for a lot of people, but honestly, we can only speak for ourselves. I mean, I've seen some bugs here and there in the game, like flying bins and stuff like that, just stuck in place, enemy AI acting a bit weird here and there. But honestly, some of that stuff is kind of like the charm of a video game, seeing some bugs here and there that are like that. I think I've had like one crash in the game so far. But I honestly don't think the bugs that are in the game would be ruining the experience of this game for a lot of people. This is a smaller development team that have also made this game, so I feel like cutting them some slack is definitely deserved. But like I say, I actually don't think all the bugs that I've seen are genuinely terrible so far. Just little funny ones here and there, and I don't think it warrants the score that a lot of places have been giving it, and I don't think it should put people off trying this game because it's actually on Game Pass. There's no real reason not to give it a bash, especially if you have Game Pass in the first place. Some of the things I'm liking about the game so far is just how gigantic the world feels. It genuinely feels great roaming this world, and it doesn't really feel anything similar to Fallout or anything like that I've played before, so it feels like it's got its own unique vibe, this game. I love the weapon customization in the game. I think I've changed my weapons maybe like 3 times. It's cost me a lot of money to do so. It costs you a lot of money to like change weapons and modify them up in this game. I mean, you can change to a basic weapon all you want, but if you want to modify it, it's going to cost you a fair bit of money. And I actually love the process of modifying weapons. Sure, it does cost a lot of money, but the sense of satisfaction that you get when you get like a new weapon, you modify it up, you add bits and parts to it, you change the armor that you're wearing. It's all a sense of satisfaction that I feel like has been like lacking from a bunch of games that I've been playing lately. It doesn't really feel like it's in a lot of games anymore, like a game that kind of like trusts the player with the decisions that they're making for their own adventure that they're going on. And in my opinion, that leads to absolutely fantastic replayability for games. The fact that you can do one playthrough with a certain set of weapons, then another playthrough with a certain set of weapons, or you can RP in different armor. Things of of that nature are like needed for gaming, in my opinion. The fact that it's like a huge game and maybe people will only do one playthrough, if you ever actually do go back and do multiple playthroughs, there's so many different playstyles you could actually go by just based on weapon customization alone, I think. I've literally done every single side quest in the game so far that I've came across. Why? Because they are genuinely fun to do. And so is the main quest. There's a bunch of like decision making that even happens in these little side quests and the main quest that leave you scratching your head wondering if you should have done the other option. I'll be honest, in my first playthroughs of games like this, I kind of save scum just to see kind of what the better option that would benefit me would be. If you get a better weapon as a reward from a side quest, or if you'd rather have the money, I'd rather like see what options are available before fully committing, if you get what I mean. No, a lot of people are like that, but I kind of leave that for other playthroughs where I stand by my decision. I don't mind the odd save scumming here and there for missions, but if you do actually pick up the game, make sure you do some of the side quests so you can get a feel of like the world building that is actually going on. It's genuinely interesting and all the side quests are weaving into it and have an impact, I think. I've heard a lot of people over the past weekend say that they think the game is very hard. Now, I'm not playing on the veteran mode. I kind of just decided to play on normal so that if I ever play the game again, I'll play on veteran for the next playthrough. But I did hear that the enemies are pretty spongy on the veteran mode, so I decided to go down the middle on normal. And I can genuinely say I've not really had much problems with it, guys. You know, maybe I've died like 50 times, like so what, you know? At the end of the day, there's a quick save function in the game, there's an auto save function in the game, so even if you do die cheaply, you can retry it a bunch of times as much as you want. One thing I absolutely love though is that the quick save feature can't be abused. Like if you're in an actual fight with a bunch of enemies, you can't kill one enemy then quick save, and then kill another enemy then hide and quick save, because that's a quick save feature like I really don't like, where you are basically save scumming every single enemy you kill. No, if you make it into like a pack of enemies, you can save before it all happens. There will usually be a save, but then you have to take out all the enemies at once until it's safe, then you can save it again. And I think that's a good balance for quick saving, actually, because I do think quick saving's a great thing in games, but it can be abused, just like I said. I think the devs have got a good balance here in the game and I really appreciate it. One thing I've never played in a game like this before is that a game that's this big usually has a fast travel feature. Now, this game does not have a fast travel feature. I don't know if something opens up later in the game, but for the past couple of days, and I've played the game for like 20 hours, there is no such thing as fast travel. So the way it works is if you go to a place and you need to go back, you're going to have to walk all the way back. And that's where all the survival elements come in, like eating food, drinking water, stuff of that nature. But I don't feel like they're strict on eating food and drinking water. I feel like it's balanced enough to the point where it's not annoying at all. But like I say, the way it works is there'll be like a town that you're in for that specific area, and once you move on to the next area, there'll be like another town that kind of replaces it, so you don't have to go all the way back if you don't want to. But the thing is, you can if you want, and that's so cool that it's there. I've never played a game that never had fast travel before, but I've got to say, I'm actually like really enjoying this feature of Stalker 2. I'm so used to games like Fallout just letting me fast travel wherever I want because the world's so big. I mean, it makes sense, right? But at the end of the day, this game so far feels balanced around not having a fast travel feature, and I can genuinely say I've been enjoying it so far. Genuinely about one of the only things I'm not enjoying about the game so far, and even then, not enjoying it is a stretch to say, but every time you're done with like a side quest or a main quest, you pick up a memo, like stashes appear on the map that you have to go and collect. You don't have to go and collect them, but me, I feel compelled to go and collect every single stash that appears on the map whenever it appears, just to get rid of the check mark off the map. But yeah, I'm at the point of the game where I'm kind of like, okay, let's just calm down on the stashes and focus on the main quest. We'll get stashes if we naturally pass them. So yeah, that's more of a me thing, and it can get a wee bit annoying because every stash I collect gets replaced by like another 3 or 4, you know? So yeah, that is one thing. If you got an OCD for video game maps, I don't think this game's terrible for it or anything, but yeah, it does exist a little bit there. So far, after like 20 hours of playing this game, I'm absolutely loving my time with Stalker 2, guys. I can't recommend people trying it enough on Game Pass. There's no real reason not to try it if you have Game Pass. Obviously, it's not out on PS5 right now, but I think it will be in a few months from what I've been hearing. It's a little bit upsetting that some of the reviews out there from the critics are not the best, but don't place too much hope on reviews in this day and age. You know how it works, and this is from like a more smaller dev, so it never really stood a chance with like the bigger reviewers out there. I don't personally think so, but in this day and age of handhold gaming, interactive movie gaming, where there's a lot of games that come out and that kind of just play themselves, that don't let you do your own thing, you know, this game is such a breath of fresh air that reminds me of like a video game era that feels like it's dying, and I really hope it doesn't die, because I love having the freedom that this game kind of gives us, and I hope we get more games like this in the future. And we're not just stuck playing interactive movies. I genuinely have like a problem. I've got a fear of games like that taking over in the future, and I don't want to let it happen. So like, I'm here to make sure people are still aware that there is actual video games that we play out there getting made. And I think this is one of them. If you have Game Pass, I would really like it if you guys would try it, come to your own conclusions about it, and see what you think. Thanks a lot for watching this video, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.